Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemns a terror attack in the Turkish city of Istanbul where 38 people were killed. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declares U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to be a good friend of Israel and hopes the two countries can work together to dismantle the nuclear agreement with Iran. Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri hails a special relationship his country has with Saudi Arabia, denying reports that the two powerful Arab nations had fallen out after Egypt expressed support for the Russian intervention in Syria. A Turkish court dismissed over the weekend a case against Israeli soldiers that took part in a raid of a Turkish ship that aimed in 2010 to break a blockade that Israel imposes against the Gaza Strip, which claimed the lives of 10 Turkish citizens. The ship, called the Mavi Marmara, was part of a larger flotilla that sought to reach the Palestinian enclave with humanitarian aid in a political protest against what they alleged was the unlawful maritime blockade of the Hamas-run enclave. Following the deadly incident, Israeli-Turkish relations broke down, yet after intensive negotiations, the two countries reached an agreement to normalize ties in June earlier this year, a rapprochement driven by the prospect of lucrative Mediterranean gas deals, as well as mutual fears over security risks in the Middle East. As part of the agreement, Turkey sent on Saturday night its ambassador to Israel, 1 week after Jerusalem sent its ambassador to Ankara, completing the technical proceedings of the accord aimed at normalizing relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned during his weekly cabinet meeting a heinous terror attack in the Turkish city of Istanbul, where 38 people were killed, including 30 policemen and 7 civilians. The Israeli leader also took the opportunity to urge the Turkish leadership to maintain a mutual standard of condemning and countering terror attacks wherever they may be.
ישראל מגנה כל טרור בטורקיה, וישראל מצפה שטורקיה תגנה כל פיגוע טרור בישראל. המאבק בטרור חייב להיות הדדי. הוא חייב להיות הדדי בגינוי, והוא חייב להיות גם הדדי בסיכול. וזוהי הציפייה של מדינת ישראל מכל המדינות שאיתה היא עומדת בקשר, לרבות טורקיה.
The attack in Turkey occurred on Saturday night when a car bomb outside the Vodafone Arena, home to Istanbul's Besiktas football team, followed by a suicide bomb attack in an adjacent park less than a minute later. There was no claim of responsibility, but Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu and other officials said early indications pointed to the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK, which has carried out a 3-decade insurgency against Turkey. Meanwhile, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who arrived at the scene of the attack, said the government of Turkey will continue its battle against terrorism.
Fakat buradaki üzerinde duracağımız en önemli konu bu terör belasıyla bununla mücadelede yani bir defa milletimin, halkımın sonuna kadar bu mücadeleyi sürdüreceğimizden hiç şüphesi olmasın. Yani eğer bizi bunlarla korkutmayı falan hedefliyorlarsa biz öyle korkup meydanı bu alçaklara, bu kahvelere bırakacak kadar alçalmadık.
Now back to Israel, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during an exclusive interview to CBS's 60 Minutes, which aired last night, said he believes U.S. President-elect Donald Trump will be a good friend to Israel and hopes the two countries can work together to dismantle the nuclear agreement world powers reached with the Islamic Republic of Iran, an accord Netanyahu referred to on several occasions as an historic mistake. The Israeli Prime Minister noted that there are various ways of undoing the nuclear agreement with Iran, which was reached in July of 2015, in which the Islamic Republic agreed to limit its nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions that have crippled Tehran's economy. Donald Trump spoke harshly about the nuclear accord with Iran during his election campaigns, promising to scrap the agreement once he takes office, an agreement the US president-elect defined as the worst deal ever negotiated, while warning that it could lead to a nuclear holocaust. Now to another regional matter. Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri held a special relationship his country has with Saudi Arabia, denying reports that the two powerful Arab nations had fallen out after Egypt expressed support for the Russian intervention in Syria. Egypt voted in favor of a Russian-backed UN resolution on Syria in October that excluded calls to stop bombing of Aleppo, which Saudi Arabia strongly opposes.
I recognize the chatter within the media related to the conditions of this relationship, so let me reassure you that from Egypt's perspective, we have a very clear vision as to the fundamental nature of that relationship, its importance, and that Arab national security depends on the cohesion and understanding that exists between Saudi Arabia and Egypt.
Shukri added that Egypt was not building its relations with Saudi arch-rival Iran, with which it has had strained diplomatic ties since the late 1970s, but has said it engages with the Islamic Republic in multilateral forums.
Egypt has always taken opportunity of such discussions to re-emphasize the positions of the Arab nations as relates the importance of maintenance of the integrity of national Arab security, and that it has always been in a position to emphasize in those discussions the interests of the Arab nation as vis-a-vis what might be expansionary policies of Iran.
Also weighing in on Iran's role in the region, Iraqi Vice President Ayad Alawi said that the Islamic Republic's intervention in neighboring Arab countries was abnormal and unacceptable, and called for a regional summit to discuss the issue with Tehran directly.
احنا كنا نعرف انه ايران تدخلت وتدخلت بشكل مباشر في دول عديده ومنها وفي مقدمه العراق، والان تدخلت في سوريا بعد ان انتهت من العراق. لكن هذا لا يعني انه احنا نقف مكتوفي الايدي امام هذا الوضع الشاذ واللي غير مقبول. من هنا انا ارى ان دعوه ايران الى مؤتمر اقليمي بحضور الامم المتحده وجامعه الدول العربيه ومنظمه التعاون الاسلامي مهم جدا لكي نكشف عن حقيقة نوايا إيران.
Meanwhile, British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson accused the Islamic Republic of Iran and its regional rival Saudi Arabia of stoking proxy wars across the Middle East. Johnson, who was appointed Foreign Secretary by Prime Minister Theresa May in July, said during a conference in Rome that the absence of real leadership in the Middle East had brought about the dangerous reality in which regional powers twist religion to advance their political rivalries.
You've got the Saudis, the Iran, everybody moving in and puppeteering and playing proxy wars. And it's a tragedy to watch it. We need to have some way of encouraging visionary leadership in that area. People who can tell a story that brings people together from different factions and different religious groups into one nation.
The British Foreign Secretary made his comments before traveling to the Middle East, where he met with King Salman of Saudi Arabia. Even though his comments were widely seen as critical of the Saudi kingdom's regional conduct, the Gulf monarchy released a video showing Johnson shaking hands with the king prior to a meeting that officials described as positive. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Jonathan Hassan, Erev Tov and Shavua Tov. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.